Hey, this is Josh, Mass Gunworks. Coming back to get this hopefully finished up. I just need to silver solder in this bushing I made. It's a threaded bushing. Backstory on this rifle: it's a 22. It's a Remington 501. This is the rear plug that retains the bolt mechanism of the spring. Somebody that owned the rifle before this gentleman had over tightened it, stripped the threads. He's a YouTube viewer, sent it to me for repair. Last video I did, we chucked this up in the lathe, bored it out. I'll show you that. So we bored that out, and then I internally threaded this based off of these specs that I had to do some math to figure out. And then I turned down the outside diameter to where it's a slip fit. And then we're going to take this silver solder paste, hopefully silver solder back in place. So I got it set up in a vise. Gonna do my jig. I'm taking a little tiny piece of wire here and I'm putting that on the very bottom of our raceway is the right term, to hold that up in place. I'm going to take some acetone, clean this in the part. We're going to use a torch and we're going to get it all put together. So let me get the parts acetone and make sure I got all my equipment together, and I'll walk you through the phases. So you can tell, new day, new shirt, haircut. We're going to get going. I'm going to be off frame for just a little bit and I'll be right back. Okay, these big Q-tips are invaluable. If you got to swab stuff, clean out a cow's ear, they're great. So you can get these at any department store. They usually come in a big package with a bunch of different sizes, but I can't say enough good stuff about them. So you make sure we get this good and clean. Get all the grease and funk out of there. We're going to take our part, hold it with a little pair of pliers. We're going to clean it. Get a little bit more acetone here. You don't necessarily have to use acetone. You can use denatured alcohol, but you need to use some kind of chemical stripper that is going to air dry. And acetone evaporates real fast. You know, brake cleaner is another thing. You want to clean the mating surfaces. It's not a bad idea to clean the tool that you're going to use to hold the part too. Okay, got that all done up. Then go and take the opposite side, the wood stick side, apply our solder. Now again, this is 95.5 solder and flux. I got this off of Amazon, I believe. You can also get it off of Master's Car, but it's 5% silver and a solder mix with flux mixed in it. It's just a paste. Mix it up a little bit. I'm gonna get this mixed up and I'll bring you guys back. So I'm gonna pause the video for just a minute. Okay, so we got everything mixed up. Take a smaller human-sized Q-tip. Some of this stuff on there. Rub it around inside of my part. We're going to apply it to bushing. Okay, and we're going to put it in. got a little hole here side as well. I'm gonna try and get a little bit smeared in there. So through around the top on this edge. Okay. Now for the heat. Now, I'm going to pause the video again, and I'm going to get you guys over top so you can watch. Got the solder, got our torch. Ready? Trying to heat evenly, so I'll do a little bit on this side, a little bit on this side. When it gets up to temp, you'll see the solder melt and flow. Go. It's bubbling. Good there. Take this, just gonna clean this off. And out of here. Sorry, having a little trouble keeping things in frame. Okay, I'll let that cool for a minute, and then I'll come back with a brush and brush everything off. This is a friend of mine's shop. He's been very, very gracious. Huge blessing. He's let me work out here while I've been in the process of moving and relocating and all those things. So, Haviland's Firearms Finishing. I think he's an indie gunsmith on social media. Brother firefighter. Great guy. Couldn't ask for a better friend. Pull this wire out. Some of these buggers out of there. Okay. All right, now take a file and very gently finish cleaning this off. That excess solder filed off of there so we get a good snug fitment. I'm not trying to change the clearances on the parts, just cleaning things up. Okay. Now, when I initially run this down, it's probably going to fit a little tight because it's hot. You got to clean that solder out of there. You can see how it's just running on down. Get it cleaned out. I'm going to wait till it cools off a little more. Do any more, that way I don't accidentally break the joint. Come back in a minute after that. Okay, so we cool it off. One thing you can do if you need to cool a part like this off, you don't want to quench it with water. You can take compressed air, the compressor line right in the background, and basically you just come in from one end and spray air around it, and that helps cool the part off. So put this in. Runs down nice and tight. You can see through that hole right there. I'm not getting any movement because that solder has adhered. Okay. So the last thing I have to do is take, and I believe I'm going to have to cut out the bottom of this ring. That way all the parts and pieces can slip in there the way they need to. Okay. So that's really the last thing we have to do. Once I get that done, this is ready to get shipped back to the customer. With some reassembly on it. I may or may not do a video about the reassembly. I haven't decided yet. But basically what I wanted to do with this series was capture the work on the lathe and go through, silver soldering the part in place. There's a couple different ways I could have done this. I could have, because it's a 22 and there's not a lot of pressure compared to something like a 223 or a 30-06, I could have made that a very tight fit and used some green bearing retaining Loctite and press that in there, and that would be sufficient to hold that for a 22 caliber. But I really wanted to do a good job for this guy, and I greatly appreciate him trusting me with his firearm. So I decided to go to the next step and use the silver solder. Just to go back over the math that we use. So I knew the part on the outside. I want to make sure I'm getting this right. The outside diameter measuring over the threads was 0.774. So I'm a little over a 3/4 of an inch. 3/4 of an inch is 750 thousandths. It was 20 TPI. When I first looked at it, I was hoping it was 3/4 by 20. I have a tap for that. Didn't get that lucky. Remington used their own proprietary threading. So what we did is we took 1 inch, that's our constant, divided by 20 threads per inch. And I know each thread had an approximate depth of 50 thousandths. So then we took 0.7740 minus 50 thousandths, and that gave me my bore size of 0.724. So we're going to start out less than 3/4 of an inch, and that was the bore that I bored the inner diameter to. And then I set my lathe up over here with I had a boring bar on and all that stuff, and I internally threaded, and I used my micrometer here. Just put it right there, and I set a stop at the micrometer. And I knew that the outside of the sleeve, the OD, based on the measurement off the crest of the thread to the outside of the part, or no, I said that wrong. It was based on the hole that I bored. I needed to be between 800 and 850 thou. So as you can see, I didn't have a whole lot of room on either side of the part, because you divide that by 2, and that gives you your material that's left between the base of your thread groove and the very outside of the part. So realistically, I was looking at 50 thousandths or less of the material, so I had to be kind of careful. I ended up having to bore it oversize by approximately 10 to 12 thou to get the fit that I wanted. But this right here, this formula got me right in the ballpark. So and it works at, say you got a 3/4 by 10, and you want to work that out. Same deal. You divide 1 by 10, and you subtract that from measurement with the micrometer or calipers over the threaded male part, the bolt, essentially, and this will get you close to what your female mating part is going to have to be internally threaded to. So hope you guys enjoyed that. Like I said, I may come back and do a video over the reassembly. I haven't decided yet, but I'm going to get this put back together and back to the guy that sent it to me. And appreciate your time, appreciate you watching. Hope you all have a good day. See you on the next one.